This is the 300th time she's celebrated her dad's 52nd birthday. Every night she brings out the same cake, says the same words, gives the same gift. Then, they sit in front of the TV for the 300th time watching The Sixth Sense again. Her father is so tired that he can barely keep his eyes open, and her brother is completely bored. But Lucy, she reacts as if it's the first time she's seen it, still shocked by the plot twist, because for Lucy it really is the first time. Last year, on October 13th, a sunny Sunday, Lucy was in the car with her father. They crashed while swerving to avoid a cow, and since that day, every time Lucy falls asleep, she forgets everything that happened that day. Her memory has been stuck in that loop, replaying the same day over and over again. For 300 days, her father and brother have played along, recreating that day each time. When Lucy goes upstairs to sleep, they throw away the leftover cake, rewrap the gift, place a fresh October 13th newspaper by the door, and reset everything in the house, even erasing the mural Lucy just finished painting on the wall. They've created a perfect bubble, trying to protect her from the harsh reality. But is that really what she would want? Every morning, Lucy goes to the same diner for breakfast. The owner and the locals have grown used to this strange girl. But today, a new guy walks in, and from the moment he enters, he can't take his eyes off Lucy. When he sees her stacking her waffles into a little mountain, he can't help but smile. His name is Henry, a keeper at the aquarium. His faith in love was shattered when he witnessed the outrageous betrayal of his first love in college. Since then, Henry hasn't taken love seriously. He'd met plenty of women, but every time things started getting serious, he'd panic and run the other way. Both Henry and Lucy are trapped in the past. One can't remember, and the other remembers too vividly. To avoid complications, Henry only dates tourists. But today, for some strange reason, he finds himself back at that same little diner. And sure enough, Lucy is there again. This time, she's building a waffle palace, but she just can't get the door right. Henry, on a sudden whim, picks up a toothpick. Because of his job at the aquarium, Henry always has a faint smell of fish on his hands. He thinks Lucy will find it off-putting. But to his surprise, Lucy's father and brother are both fishermen, and every time they return from the sea, they carry the same fishy scent. Lucy, missing them, grows fond of that smell. The two of them quickly hit it off and agree to meet again the next day. The following day, Henry, braving the heavy rain, arrives early at the diner. In the end, it is the diner owner who pulls Henry outside and explains everything to him. Though the reality is harsh, the next day, Henry still returns to the diner, where he sees Lucy once again struggling with the door of her Waffle House. He picks up a toothpick, thinking about trying the same trick again. Love isn't like solving a problem, where mastering a method guarantees the right answer. But strangely, this only fuels Henry's competitive spirit. After all, every day is a new chance to try again. Sometimes, he draws a portrait, hoping to catch Lucy's attention. But Lucy pretends she doesn't understand English. Other times, he pretends not to know the menu and cries at the bar, hoping to earn her sympathy. The pickup lines that once work every time completely lose their effect on this forgetful girl. One time, he even makes Lucy so angry she walks out. Henry chases after her all the way to her house to apologize, only to be caught by Lucy's father, who warns him not to bother his daughter at the diner again. Henry agrees. He stops going to the diner. Instead, he starts intercepting her on the way there. This gives him more room to be creative. For the first time, he pretends his car breaks down and plays a little prank on Lucy. Sometimes, Henry has his friends pretend to be a robber and stage a roadside mugging. These pickup lines are sometimes successful, sometimes not, but they always show Henry a different, richer side of Lucy. One day, while he's in the middle of playing the kidnapping scenario, Henry doesn't end up meeting Lucy, but instead, her father shows up. He tells Henry to finish the act and come over afterward. It turns out that Lucy's father has noticed that his daughter only sings while painting on the days she meets Henry, and the song happens to be the one he and his wife used to sing together. He starts to take a closer look at this guy who's creating ripples in his daughter's otherwise predictable life. From that point on, he no longer opposes Henry's interactions with Lucy. But not long after, an uninformed cop shatters this little dream. When Lucy rushes home in a panic, her father knows something is terribly wrong. At this point, he has no choice but to tell her the whole truth. Unable to accept it, Lucy runs to the beach. At that moment, she feels like Truman, standing at the edge of the world, realizing that she's been living a lie created by others all along. Lucy still refuses to believe that everything she's experienced is real. Last year, a car accident changed everything. Ever since then, every time Lucy falls asleep, all the new memories she made that day are completely wiped. Her mind is forever stuck on the day before the accident. To protect her from the painful truth, her family plays along, pretending like nothing ever happened. But one day, a traffic ticket shatters the illusion. Lucy discovers the cruel reality. The thing is, this isn't the first time she's found out the truth. Over the past 300 days, she's uncovered it more than once, only to forget again the next morning. The doctor runs another CT scan on Lucy, but still no improvement. However, compared to other patients, she's actually one of the lucky ones. At this facility, most patients suffer from memory loss due to head injuries. And the worst case is Tom. Because of the accident, his memory lasts no more than 10 seconds. 10 seconds, barely enough time to feel sad. Maybe, in a way, that's a kind of blessing. After returning from the facility, Lucy seems much calmer. Her father tells her that Henry has been pursuing her all this time. She asks Henry to talk about lilies the next day because they are her favorite flower. This gesture shows that she wants to keep getting to know him. However, Henry knows that keeping the truth from her forever is not good for her and is not a solution to her situation. The next day, he arrives dressed as a deliverman, bringing a bouquet of lilies and a mysterious videotape. The tape begins by asking Lucy to prepare herself. Then, it plays major events from the past year to help her gradually process the truth. Eventually, a news report about the accident appears, revealing what really happened. At the end of the tape, Henry and his friends reenact the moment he and Lucy first met. He also records messages from all the people who care about her, capturing their warmest wishes. After taking some time to process it all, Lucy looks out at the sea and gradually calms down. Her family feels relieved, as this approach seems to have worked. At least for the next few hours, she can continue moving forward. As the sun sets, the two of them arrive at the accident site. The injured tree has healed, and Lucy finds herself falling for the humorous and charming Henry once again. She can't help but think how wonderful it would have been if she had met him before the accident. From that moment on, Lucy is finally able to move forward with her life. She reconnects with old friends. Some are pregnant, some have lost weight. The world around her has completely changed. Late into the night, as the crowds at the beach disperse, Lucy picks up the camera, hoping to capture more memories for the future. Henry, however, remains unusually silent. Not because he doesn't love her, but because, for the first time, the flirtatious man who's always been surrounded by attention from others finds himself seriously contemplating the weight of love, all because of this girl in front of him. Love is when he realizes each morning that he sees her sitting in the same restaurant again, and understands that he's been in love with her for a long time. On that sweet evening, neither of them wants to sleep. But when Lucy wakes up again, the miracle doesn't happen. Henry can only have her watch the videotape once more. After she finishes watching the tape, just as she's about to head downstairs, she overhears a conversation between Henry and the doctor. It turns out that Henry has been saving money to build a boat for the past 10 years, dreaming of a voyage. However, after meeting Lucy, he changes his dream. Now all he wants is to be by her side. He believes that deep in Lucy's memory, he already exists. But that's not what Lucy wants. She takes her diary and goes to find Henry. Since Henry started recording the tapes, she's also been keeping a diary. But now, she brings it to him with the intention of breaking up. She doesn't want Henry to give up his dream for her. To completely forget him, she invites him to erase all the parts of him in her diary. Henry, of course, refuses to give up. He wants to wait until tomorrow, when she forgets about their breakup. But Lucy is firm in her decision. In the end, they burn her diary together, and they break up. In the days that follow, Lucy continues with her daily routine, not miraculously remembering Henry. Meanwhile, Henry decides to set sail to heal the pain of his broken heart and fulfill his dream. His friends gather to see him off. Lucy's father shares an update on Lucy. She's now living in a nursing home, teaching others how to paint, and still sings every day. Listening to the song full of memories, Henry can't help but cry. Then, he suddenly remembers what Lucy's father had said, that Lucy would only hum a song on the day she met Henry. Could it be that Lucy has remembered him? With that thought, he quickly turns the boat around and heads toward the nursing home. But Lucy asks Henry if he's willing to visit her studio. When he opens the door, he's stunned to find that the walls are covered with portraits of him. She doesn't know who this man is, but she has been dreaming about him almost every night. Unknowingly, he's truly made his way into the depths of her memory. When Lucy wakes up again, she sees the videotape on her bedside table. With a sense of curiosity, she decides to play it. The tape records all the moments they've shared together. In front of their friends, they've already become husband and wife. The rings on her hands is proof of it. She walks over to the window, deeply struck by the view outside. It's no longer the familiar Hawaiian landscape she's used to, but instead, an endless expanse of glaciers. As she puts on her coat and steps out of the cabin, she finds her father, Henry, and their daughter waiting for her to have breakfast together. And with that, the movie ends. 50 First Dates is a 2004 romantic comedy. For Lucy, who can't heal, every day is the same. But with the support and persistence of her loved ones, she's able to continue living her life. Overall, the movie is good and has great potential to be an even more successful rom-com. However, Adam Sandler's excessive jokes that aren't all that funny hold it back a bit. Feel free to leave your thoughts on the movie in the comments section. See you in the next movie.